Hello and welcome to this week's Rituals of Returning mini ritual. And today we are actually going to be doing kind of a buffet of Kuan Yin as July draws to a close. This has been our month of compassion, our month of Kuan Yin, and I went through some of my older decks and collected out the Kuan Yin cards to share with all of you, as well as a little snippet from this Goddess Days book by Nancy Blair, which is unfortunately out of print and can be difficult to find used, but it has a little Kuan Yin section in there too, and so this is a buffet of Kuan Yin for you today. And so we're actually going to go ahead and start with this card over here, which is from the Goddess Inspiration Oracle by Chris Walter. And whoops, oh my goodness, my hands, what am I doing here? Okay. The message from this card is become a channel for compassion. Kuan Yin is the mother of mercy. So a perfect affirmation for you this week might be, I am a channel for compassion. I am a channel for compassion. And then we'll check with what the book has to say about that. This is a little guidebook for it. And so Kuan Yin is associated with compassion, with healing, with serenity, and is one of the most beloved deities in China, considered to act as sort of a guardian angel. She's said to personify the principle of boundless compassion and kindness, the mother of mercy, the mother of compassion and healing. These all describe Kuan Yin. She's widely worshipped by Taoists and Buddhists. She's believed to heal those who are sick in heart and body, and she pays special attention to mothers and children in distress and even seafarers in storms. Many people believe that even to say the goddess's name will bring protection and relief to those in need of her help. And indeed, this month I have been experiencing that, just when I feel a little off kilter and off center and like I need something, I'll put my hand against my heart and just say, Kuan Yin, fill me with compassion. And it really is a powerful way to reset yourself and to choose and act and live through the eyes of compassion instead of through agitation or discord or distress or whatever is going on. Anyway, others choose to go on pilgrimages to the goddess's temple on the mountain, which is set upon a faraway island. And as they pray, they shake rattles and other noisemakers to attract the notice of Kuan Yin. So that is the first card that we're going to explore today. And then the next one is from the Mother's Wisdom deck. And I'm going to compliment myself on my amazing collection of goddess-related oracles. This is another one of those decks that I think is out of print and difficult to find. I had it about 10 years ago, I took several classes with Annie Dalter. I took Sacred Pregnancy and Sacred Postpartum and some other classes like that. And this was a deck we used a lot in those Sacred Pregnancy type of classes. And so in the meantime, I believe I don't think it's in print anymore, but this card, and maybe it is, so don't take my word for it. Go poking around and I'll link to it below if I find where it is. But anyway, it's an interesting compilation kind of deck that draws upon symbols and goddesses and animals and all kinds of things like that. So here is the Kuan Yin card from that deck, and we'll go ahead and check in with what that book has to say. So interestingly, this one includes a shadow side, which is guilt. And so it starts with the quote, and this is not about guilt. It starts with the quote from Saint Teresa of Avila. I have a lovely habit. At night in my prayers, I touch everyone I have seen that day. I shape my heart like theirs and theirs like mine. And so the author of this book notes that when the Chinese goddess of mercy appears, it's time to dissolve any bitterness that has calcified in your heart. So an affirmation for this week might be, I dissolve bitterness. I dissolve bitterness. Grudges are not welcome on her watch. Kuan Yin, whose name means she who hears the cries of the world, comes to you with a simple message of loving others as yourself. Another affirmation might be, I love myself. I love others as I love myself. Legend has it that what transformed her into a goddess was her compassion toward her father, who tried to have her killed for pursuing her vocation as a nun. Kuan Yin harbored no resentment, and later when her father fell ill, she saved his life. Thankfully, Kuan Yin does not ask us to be so extreme. It can take all of our power to call up compassion when we feel frustration and anger mounting inside. Another affirmation could be, I call up compassion. When I feel anger, I call up compassion. This 1,000-armed goddess, ever ready to offer mercy, empathy prompts us to temper our reactions with love. Another affirmation could be, I temper my reactions with love. She whispers, mother as you would like to be mothered. Treat the whole world as your child. In Hebrew, the word for compassion is the plural of the word for womb. Just as a baby expands in the womb, children expand our compassion. Every day as parents, so this, I'm going to take a step back to mention that this book focuses on parenting and being a parent. And so if you are not a parent, please don't consider that to mean you're left out of offering compassion to others. This is just the viewpoint of this book is through the lens of parenting and how we can apply this goddess wisdom, mother's wisdom, animal wisdom to our own parenting journeys. So she says every day as parents, I would also say every day as people, we are faced with moments when we can choose compassion or brusqueness. Our children hurt themselves, they need comfort, or they have tantrums that require grace under pressure. Who knows for sure what forces are at work inside them? Anyone you meet, whether friend, family, or stranger, may be undergoing a great battle within. They all deserve your kindness. Yet sainthood on the ground eludes even extraordinary mothers and extraordinary people. Compassion easily gives way to selfishness and guilt. Choose empathy wherever possible. I would also add, in my own parenting experience, it can also lead to selflessness and kind of martyrdom. So self-sacrifice and martyrdom, where you're like, oh, doesn't anybody appreciate me for all I do for you? And that's not a great path to walk either. So that's something to point out. Choose empathy wherever possible, but if loving kindness is not what comes, you can still rest naturally in what arises. So another affirmation might be, I rest naturally in what arises. Don't punish yourself for being human and getting irritated. Don't overcompensate for your blow-ups by being falsely sweet. Guilt takes you out of the present and impedes the natural ebb and flow of emotions. Another affirmation could be, I'm full of affirmations today, I honor the natural ebb and flow of my emotions. I honor the ebb and flow of my emotions. And I accept myself. Kuan Yin teaches that loving and accepting oneself lies at the heart of extending compassion towards others. As you expand the radius of your empathy, you may experience compassion fatigue. Prime your generosity of spirit by giving something away: food, time, smiles, random gifts. Do something every day for someone else. Kuan Yin reminds us that we have many arms and many ways to lend a hand. We have many ways to lend a hand. Go beyond the ideas of separation to the place where all hearts beat together. All hearts beat together. And so that is good. And like I said, shadow side, guilt. So you might ask yourself, how am I extending compassion to myself and to others? And how might I be inadvertently converting compassion into guilt? How might I be converting compassion into guilt? So that can be a difficult one to assess or struggle with even. And then we're going to check on over with the Goddess Days book. And so this one points out the Kuan Yin's message is to develop the will and wisdom to follow your inner calling. So an affirmation might be, I have the will and wisdom to follow my inner calling. I have the will and wisdom to follow my inner calling. Kuan Yin, the goddess of abiding compassion. Kuan means earth. Yin is the dynamic female life force. Kuan Yin's strength, like silk, is disguised in softness. She's often shown riding a dolphin, a unique vision of women's wild strength. She who rides yet doesn't control the untamable forces of life holds the key to happiness. Her gift of tranquility is the secret that is no secret. The potential for deep understanding, compassionate wisdom, and courageous empowered action are present with you at all times. You are born of wholeness, conception, and completion at the center of the seed. Accepting and honoring all who you are is Kuan Yin's healing power of compassionate play. Another affirmation, I accept and honor all that I am. I accept and honor all that I am. I take compassionate, empowered action. I take compassionate, empowered action. Where might you need to take compassionate, empowered action? Where might you need to make a choice in the direction of compassion? Call on Kuan Yin today in the quiet moments between a sigh and a deep breath. Take a few minutes to practice compassionate healing prayer. Imagine unconditional love streaming from her, entering your body. Feel it travel through you. And when you've taken all you need, direct the energy out through the top of your head. Send healing love to whomever and wherever you want. Make offerings of gratitude to Kuan Yin on your altar. Keep your thoughts positive, and you will see the results in a close relationship. And then there's some affirmations or reminders at the bottom here. Divine love lives within me. The miraculous beauty of my own being comforts me. I create supportive environments that foster self-expression and affirm my value. I create supportive environments that foster self-expression and affirm my value and affirm the value of others as well. And so then we're going to go ahead and close with my own card from the Story Goddess Oracle. It's on the backdrop here of my, oh my goodness, look what happened. The Kuan Yin fell in through the deck. So I'm going to have to go reclaim that. Oh my goodness. That's what happens when you sit outside with cracks before you. Sometimes you lose your compassion in the cracks. And that can be true too. How might you be losing your compassion in the cracks? How might you need to pull compassion back up through the cracks of your living? So anyway, here we are with the Story Goddess Oracle card, Kuan Yin. And the card on the back is compassion. I craft my life with care. I craft my life with care. And I have a couple other reminders in the back pocket here. And but here's one. May we have compassion for our humanness, these small and powerful forms with finite physical resources and infinite imaginations. May we listen to our bodies. May we learn to love our limits. May we set ourselves free. May we set ourselves free. And then there's another little card that I got that I sent out as magic mail for our Goddess Magic community. Help me to transform pain into compassion, resistance into renewal, and uncertainty into sacred knowing. Help me to transform uncertainty into sacred knowing. So we're going to go ahead and close with Kuan Yin's little poem. Listen, I hear the cries of the world. My compassion and tenderness are infinite. My kindness embraces the world. The lavender flame is ignited by my touch. So now I'm going to go ahead and close up and go crawling under this deck and see if I can get my card back. See if I can get my compassion back from under the deck. So thank you so much for being here today. May you treat yourself and others with compassion. May you be a channel for compassion in this world. Thank you so much for being here. Keep living your magic, everybody. Bye-bye.